So if you want to know about the Adirondack Canoe Classic and the route it takes, it's going to start here in the Adirondacks in Old Forge and end up through all these squigglies here in Saranac Lake. And this is what the back of the t-shirt looks like. But there's no racing for money. You're racing for basically pins. And each one, you can see here, I did 10 of them, so that's 900 miles so far. This is my first plaque right here, and if you happen to get lucky, you get one of those. You get some hardware, well, another plaque. But you're not racing for that. You're just racing for the fun and pin collection. All right, so let's go up to the charts. And here's a whole world of adventure here. And what you want is a map, multiple maps. So we're going to start here in Old Forge. And you usually spend the night in here in one of the motels, or you camp nearby. And there's a very scenic spot right here. And when your wave takes off, and there's multiple waves, usually they start the open touring, which is the non-racing division first. And you come screaming through here. And through first lake, second lake, third lake, fourth lake, Fulton chain of lakes, basically, until we come to inlet here. And then this is usually a really good spot to watch everybody come through. And then right after that comes a carry into Sixth Lake. Yes, you have to carry your boat or wheel your boat or a combination of the two of them. And then we come screaming through 6th and 7th Lake. And we come to another carry here. This is the 8th Lake Campground carry. And this is a fairly long one. I say it's about almost a mile right there. Then you dump in and go through 8th Lake, which you come to another carry. This is a mile .32 as I calculated there or written down. And into Brown's Track. Let's flip the map. Brown's Track is right here. So when we put in here, if you're in a big boat, it's kind of troublesome. But if you're in a small boat, especially something like this, all right, so here's a Placid Boat Works Rapid Fire, which I used 8 years, and here is a Shadow, which I've used for 10. This is 15 and this is 16 feet. They really scream through Brown's Track. And you can see right here how squiggly that is, right? And you get to pass a lot of big boats through there. And then we're coming into, well, Racket Lake. Now, Mother Nature can be either good or bad. Usually she's bad. And this can be really rough through here until you get into the Marion River. And then things tend to calm down. This past year, I was able to pass a lot of people through here because everyone bonked right here. And I fueled up, and I just poured on the steam through here because I wanted to get to basically this area, wherever the Beaver Dam is. And the Beaver Dam is kind of difficult to get up sometimes. Traffic backs up, so I wanted to get past all the big boats that I could before I got there. But this year, it was a non-event. We paddled right over the Beaver Dam, up the Beaver Dam, and into here. So then there's another carry right here into, and you're going to see basically from here Blue Mountain. And you're going to say, oh my gosh, I'm almost done. Yeah, don't let that fool you because you got a long way to go, right? So we have to come through here. This could get really windy in here. And then again, Eagle Lake, this is really windy. This past year, Mother Nature kicked our butts and decided to really turn on the wind. And we were just getting blown all over the place as we come into here. One year, people were wearing parkas when I came to the finish. You just never know. It could be a walk in the park, or it could be a fight for survival. Even when I finished the finish line here, it was quite eventful just getting to shore. All right, so that's the end of day one. If you're following the Northern Forest Canoe Trail, you would back up here. You would come up this way into Forked Lake, right? And then this way until you get to the Racket River, the beginning of the Racket River. and you keep going to Long Lake. Day 2 is starting at Long Lake. And this is Bissell Landing right here. All right, we're going to switch maps now. And here we are at Long Lake and Bissell Landing. Everyone starts here. And it's pretty much a sprint till you get to the bridge. This is another good spot for people to watch. And then for another, I don't know how long, 2 hours or so, you're coming through Long Lake. Again, Mother Nature could be your friend, or, well, usually she's not. Until you get into here, and then you can basically fuel up again. And so now you can protect the waterway of the Racket River, and you're screaming all the ways through here until we get to, yes, Racket River Falls. Racket River Falls is one portage this day, and it's a doozy. It's 1.25 miles, and it's basically going up a stadium, a rocky stadium. There's rock steps that go up to here. Eventually you get up to a place called Cell Phone Rock, and then it starts to go down again. Some people use wheels. It's and this is a good place to pass everybody coming on down here, especially with a smaller, lighter boat, because you're basically in a run or a trot going downhill. The bigger C4s, C3s, even C2s, war canoes are like, it's just kind of a mess going through there. So you just say, hey, on your left, and cruise on by if you can. Right, then you put in again. So each step you can get in front of somebody else, the better. Then we have a whole bunch of squigglies coming through here. We're going. One turn, another turn, until you get up to another place where the spectators can go, Axton Landing, right? And it's pretty easy to get to because Route 3 is right here. And then you drive down this little road right here. And there's a little line crossing right here where they cable line going across, get supplies across, right? And then more squigglies. So you think, oh yeah, close to being done. Not even close. Look at all these squigglies. Left, right, back and forth. Squiggly turns all the ways through. But on the positive side, Mother Nature isn't too bad. But one year she decided to get really cold, and I froze my butt off on the way through here because it rained. All right, so we're coming through like this, and we get to the end, which is, and makes a hard left-hand turn here, and then in like a couple 100 yards, 100 yards maybe, 200 yards, there's the finish. And ta-da, end of day 2. But day 3 starts over here in Fish Creek. All right, and we're going to flip the map to do day 3. All right, day 3. We're starting here in Fish Creek. And basically start back here and come through here like this. And then we're in Upper Saranac. And then we're gonna scream all the way down Upper Saranac. Again, big water, which means wind, waves, Mother Nature, until we come into Bartlett Carry. Now, Bartlett Carry is kind of a fun place. Being the 3rd day, it's kind of a shorter day. The first day is like 35 miles. The second day is 30, and 25 for the last day. So you're making Bartlett Carry. There used to be a guy, an old guy, with a pair of bagpipes. And it was very inspirational hearing him play as he went up the hill. But this year, and he passed away, I think. And so we didn't have anybody for a few years. But now we have a new guy. Yeah, Tom. Yeah, so he's playing up there now. So you finish through here. You get a little inspiration from the music. Plop back in. And Middle Saranac. Again, Mother Nature can not be your friend here until you get into here, right? So now we're into the squigglies of the Saranac again. until we get to the upper locks. So this has a very short portage across the upper locks. So you get off on River Right, it's kind of rocky there, and you put in past the locks. The locks are fun when you're not in a race, but during the race, you can't use the locks. So you have to portage around that, plop back in. This doesn't show it to be very squiggly, but it is. There's a lot of buoys and rocks and a very narrow waterway. And as we come screaming through here, then we're into Lower Saranac. And then we come across here, come past Bluff Island. It's easy, pretty much easy to follow everybody because it's 275 boats, so you don't really get lost. And then here's another good place for spectators to watch here at Route 3 or the boat launch site right here. And you come through here, and as you're coming through here and here, and more squigglies, tight waterways, so Mother Nature isn't too much of a problem there. And up we go. And we get to here. You've been racing for almost 90 miles, and there's a flagpole right here. After you get through, oh, we missed the locks right here, the lower lock. So that's the last portage, and it's a little longer than the first portage. Once you drop in here, you're pretty much really turning on the steam now because you're almost at the end. And when you get to this point, right here, there's a flag, an American flag right on the point. And that's like, okay, you've done almost 90 miles, and it's sprint time. It doesn't matter what boat's next to you. It doesn't matter what class you're in. If there's a C4 and you're a single, I mean, it's a race going on from here to there. You just blow the motor, blow the transmission, come to the end, finish, drink beer, have dinner, and hang out with all your friends. And ta-da, there we are in Saranac Lake, 90 miles, lots of fun. So I highly recommend getting maps for this. So you see how big this one is, and there's a few of them here. I prefer the smaller maps when you're doing your adventures. Use the bigger map for the chart tables. And here's a few of them. One for the North Canoe Trail, Lowe's Lake, Whitney Loop, St. Regis. And there we are. So if you finish and you get lucky, you get to take home one of these. And that's my number 10 pin. So again, the Adirondack Canoe Classic, the 90 miler. Ta-da!